Hello students, welcome to Pi Academy, the place for mathematics and science. Dear students, in today's class we are going to continue the chapter magnetic effects of electric current. And remember, this is third period of this chapter, and you all know that in second period we got a lot of information about this chapter, right? Just we shall go for recalling all these points one after the other within just 5 minutes only. The first point was we learned an experiment which gives the relationship between an electric current and magnetic field. What is that experiment? Yes, you are right. It is Oersted experiment. Oersted's experiment. You know that it gives the relationship between magnetic field and electric current. Then there we come across when electric current flows through the conductor, the magnetic field is developed around it, right? And due to this, the magnetic needle in the compass get deflected. And the direction of deflection can be known by using the law. What is that law? It is, you are right, Ampere's swimming rule. Ampere's swimming rule. Yes. Then what does it state? It states that imagine a man swimming along the wire. Then the current enters from his feet and leaves from his head. And his head is facing towards north. Then his left hand indicates the direction of deflection of north pole of the magnetic needle, right? And then even we have come across when the current is flowing from south to north, what will be the direction of the deflection of the magnetic needle? Yes, it is towards left side. If the current is flowing from north to south, then the direction of deflection, it will be on the right side. But when you observe from south to north, from there again it will be on the left side, right? Then after all this, then we learned the pattern of lines of force around a conductor carrying current, because we have already come to know how will be the pattern of lines of force around a bar magnet. As a conductor carrying current behaves like a magnet, therefore there must be some pattern around it. And from that we come to know the conductor carrying current can be used in three ways, right? What are those? One is straight conductor carrying current, second one is circular conductor carrying current, and third one is it is solenoid, right? But among these, the first two were discussed in detail with an activity also. The first one is straight conductor carrying current. Now first you tell what is the pattern of lines of force around a straight conductor carrying current? Yes, it is concentric circles. See, when you think that it is the conductor in which the current is flowing, then the lines of force will be concentric circles. Then if it is so, we also come to know that the direction of lines of force, it depends on the direction of flow of current. If the direction of flow of current is upward, what will be the direction of lines of force? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? Yes, it is anti-clockwise, like this. If the direction of flow of current is downward, then the direction of lines of force will be in clockwise. Let me show you that also. Just keep observing. Yes, this is in this way, clockwise. How did you come to know that? Actually, this was explained by a scientist. He is Maxwell. And he has given a law, or that is rule, that is called right hand thumb rule. Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. According to this, imagine a man holding a straight conductor carrying current in his right hand. Then the thumb point indicates the direction of flow of current. Encircled fingers indicate the direction of lines of force. See that the current is flowing upward, it is anti-clockwise. Current is flowing downward, therefore the direction of lines of force will be in clockwise. Clear up? Not only this, even we come across one more important point, that is the factors on which the strength of magnetic field which is developed around a straight conductor carrying current depends. Yes, what are those? One is the amount of current that flows through the conductor, right? As we can write like this, V is directly proportional to I. As the amount of current increases, nothing but when you go for increasing the voltage of the battery, then the current increases. As current increases, strength of the magnetic field also increases. If it is decreased, strength of magnetic field is also decreased. Similarly, then the number of rectangular coils, nothing but number of turnings. As the number of turnings increases, magnetic field also increases. That is, B is directly proportional to N. We can write like this. Number of turnings increases, field also increases. Number of turnings decreases, then field strength also decreases. Then any other factor, it is very important, the distance of the lines of force from the conductor. How it is? Look at, these are the distances. Now you tell whether it is directly proportional or inversely proportional. It is inversely proportional. The distance of the lines of force from the conductor is to be taken as R. As distance increases, field strength decreases. As distance decreases, field strength increases. Please do remember, all these are very important in the examination point of view. Then after this, we moved on to another one. What is that? It is circular conductor carrying current. Circular conductor carrying current. Yes. Could you tell what is the pattern of lines of force around a circular conductor carrying current? It is concentric circles near the conductor and straight and parallel at the middle of the circular conductor, right? This is the pattern. And there also we have come across how to mark the direction of lines of force based on the direction of current using Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. Then what do you call the magnetic field if the lines of force are straight and parallel? It is called uniform magnetic field. Where the uniform magnetic field is existed in case of circular conductor carrying current? At the middle of the circular conductor. Here also we come across some of the important factors on which strength of the magnetic field depends. First one, same thing, that is strength of magnetic field is directly proportional to the amount of current that flows in the circular conductor. As it increases, current increases, field strength increases. Current decreases, field strength also decreases. Next point, the number of loops, nothing but the number of turnings. So here also, as the number of turnings increases, the field strength also increases. As it decreases, field strength also decreases. Next one, again, the distance of the magnetic lines of force from the conductor, we can write magnetic field is inversely proportional to R. That is the radius of each magnetic lines of force. As this radius increases, field strength decreases. The distance of lines of force from the conductor decreases, field strength increases. Another fourth important point is circular loop. It has some diameter. If the diameter increases, field strength decreases. If the diameter decreases, field strength increases. We can write B is inversely proportional to D. As distance increases, field strength decreases. Distance decreases, field strength increases. Clear? And in case of circular conductor carrying current, even we can identify the poles of the magnet because as it acts as a magnet. To know that, we used a rule. What is that? Yes, you are right. It is clock phase rule. Clock phase rule. According to this, when the current flows in the circular conductor carrying current, if the direction of current around a circular conductor carrying current appears to be clockwise, then that pole acts as south. See, that pole acts as south. If the phase of the circular conductor carrying current in which current flowing appears in the anti-clockwise direction, then that phase acts as north pole. Clear? I think this much was discussed in the last class. These are very important. Hence, again I have given you the explanation. Now we are moving to the next part of this chapter. That is, we will come to know the pattern of lines of force around solenoid. And before that, first we shall understand about solenoid. Dear students, just observe them. Here I am going to take a long copper wire which is insulated, and I am going to make in this way. Just keep observing. See that long copper wire is taken, and here I have made a spring-like structure. This is nothing but solenoid. Then how do you define solenoid? Solenoid is a long coil of insulated copper wire having number of close turnings. See that? You just observe these turnings. They are very close to each other. Got it? A long copper wire having a large number of turnings. That is, this is called solenoid. Now let us come to know how will be the pattern of lines of force around a solenoid. First let me write a definition of it. Please go through the definition. Solenoid, a long coil of insulated copper wire having a large number of close turnings is called a solenoid. Dear students, now we are going to learn how will be the pattern of the lines of force around a solenoid carrying current. Here first I will draw that solenoid. Just keep observing the way I am going to draw. It is very important in the examination point of view. More chances are there to ask. Just keep observing. Here, this is the copper wire, and we are going to make it number of loops, and is like a spring-like structure. And these turnings are very close to each other. Then we have to connect the free ends of the wire to the terminals of a battery along with the switch here. This is the switch. When you close the circuit, then the current starts flowing from positive terminal to negative terminal. Just to keep observing here from positive terminal. Observe here I am showing the direction. Now you can see that whether it is clockwise or anti-clockwise. Here, is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? This is clockwise, right? If it is clockwise, what do you call that? Which pole is that face? Whether it is north or south? It is south, right? And just observe it. Here I am just showing the direction every time. The current flows in this way. And if you want to show the direction of flow of current in each turning, you can draw it downward and upward arrow mark. Here downward, upward, here as well, and here also. Just keep observing. Yes. Now this face, left face acts as a south pole, and the right face here acts as north pole. Just keep observing. Now, as it acts as a magnet, there will be lines of force. Now we have to show the pattern of lines of force. How it will be? Observe here. This is the way. You can notice that how the lines of force are. Yes. Now, could you tell what will be the pattern of lines of force? It is this pattern we have seen in case of bar magnet. So, the pattern is like pattern around the bar magnet. It is only outside the solenoid. What about inside the solenoid? Observe these lines of force. How these lines are? These lines are straight and parallel. That means uniform magnetic field is existed inside the solenoid. Please do remember, if you ask in the examination to write the pattern of lines of force around a solenoid, you have to write uniform magnetic field or straight and parallel inside the solenoid, and pattern like around the bar magnet outside the solenoid. Then the question arises, which one of these two field has more strength? Whether magnetic field strength inside the solenoid or outside the solenoid? No doubt it is inside the solenoid magnetic field strength is more, and outside the solenoid magnetic field strength is weak. The reason is here inside the solenoid the lines of force are closer to each other and they are parallel, and moreover uniform magnetic field is existed. And do remember, as these lines of force spread at the ends, obviously at the ends it will be weak, right? Comparatively here. Did you understand? Okay, now let me show you the direction of lines of force. Observe it. Conventionally, lines of force will exist at north pole and end at south pole. So I am showing the direction from north to south. From north to south. Just keep observing. Whereas inside the solenoid, it is very interesting. See that this is south to north. Here I am showing the direction. Inside the solenoid, the direction of lines of force is from south to north. Clear? And another important point to be noticed is, here positive terminal is there, that side it is south pole. Because there we take the direction of current in clockwise. That phase behaves like a south pole. Did you understand? Yes. Then, if you have come to know the figure, next up, pattern, next, what are the factors on which strength of the magnetic field depends? In general it is. may be outside or inside the solenoid. In general, what are the factors on which strength of the magnetic field depends? One is obviously the current is responsible. If the voltage is more, current increases. When the current increases, field strength also increases. So B is directly proportional to I. Second one, see that here also in the coil there will be number of turnings. As the number of turnings increases, then obviously the field strength also increases. So B is directly proportional to N. Then other than that, look here, when you go for taking each groove, in that diameter will also be responsible. As the diameter decreases, then field strength increases. Clear? Next, another one, as the lines of force, the distance of the lines of force from the solenoid increases, field strength decreases. These are the factors. There are some important characteristic features of field strength. Now let me explain that. Please go for writing the definition of solenoid, then draw this figure, then go for write in this heading pattern of lines of force around a solenoid carrying current. Draw this figure and also label it. Yeah. Hope that you have written. Now, after drawing this, you have to copy this one. That is pattern of lines of force around a solenoid, current carrying solenoid. It is similar to that of the pattern around a bar magnet outside the solenoid. Whereas in case of inside the solenoid, it is uniform magnetic field. That means lines of force are straight and parallel. Then here I have written the factors on which the strength of the magnetic field depends. One is amount of current, second one is number of turns in the coil, and distance of the turnings, nothing but air gap between the turnings. If the air gap decreases, then field strength increases. So it is inversely proportional. Similarly, radius of the coil or each turn, if the radius decreases, the field strength increases. Hence B is inversely proportional to R. Clear? Yes, please go for copying this. Now I'll go for giving you some more points. Dear students, please go through the characteristics of magnetic field which is produced in the solenoid carrying current. Look here, the first point I have already explained that. Once I go for reminding you. Magnetic field inside the solenoid, it is uniform and it is strong, right? The reason is the lines are straight and parallel. Hence, it will be uniform, and more number of lines of force will be inside the solenoid. That is why it is stronger than the outside field. Magnetic field inside the solenoid, it is outside the solenoid is non-uniform because they are not straight and parallel. Hence, they are weak. Next, magnetic field lines outside the solenoid is from north to south direction. Then inside the solenoid it is from south to north. Clear? And another one, fourth point is magnetic field decreases at the ends than at the middle as the spread at the ends. Okay. Here the field strength, it is same here up to here. But at the ends, this field strength is weaker than at the middle. The reason is here the lines of force will start spreading and they are not uniform. They are uniform only in case of inside the solenoid. Hence, stronger magnetic field is existed inside, not at the ends. Did you understand? Yes, please go for copying these also. And another very important thing is this solenoid is also used for making electromagnet. Very simple. When the soft iron core is placed inside it, then it acts as a magnet as long as the current flows. And we call that as electromagnet. Now, I'll go for giving you more information about electromagnet, and before that, copy the characteristics of field lines or magnetic field. Yes, copy this. Dear students, please observe here. Now I am going to draw the solenoid. This is solenoid. And these are the free ends of the solenoid. Now, these are connected to terminals of a battery along with the switch. Got it? Here I am going to place a soft iron piece. Next, go for closing the circuit. Then what happens? Current starts flowing from positive terminal to negative terminal. Then what happens around the conductor, around this copper wire? No doubt, magnetic field is developed according to magnetic effect of electric current, which has been given by Hans Christian Ørsted, right? When the electric current flows through the conductor, magnetic field is developed around it. So here the magnetic field is developed, like here magnetic field is developed. Then if it is so, then this soft iron piece should act as a magnet, right? How do you check? You just bring some small pieces of iron or else iron nails, iron pins. What happens? If it attracts, we can say that it is magnet. If it is not, you cannot say. Look here, now it is attracting the iron pieces. Clear? Look here, then this is a magnet. The magnet so obtained is called electromagnet. See that in that only meaning is there. Magnetic property is obtained by using electricity, nothing but electric current. But how long this soft iron piece acts as a magnet? As long as current flows. If circuit is broken, then immediately it loses its magnetic property. Clear? So this is the reason why we go for using soft iron piece in case of electromagnet. Soft iron piece, it loses all of its magnetic property when the flow of current stops. Whereas the ordinary iron piece, in spite the circuit is broken or flow of current stops, it will be having some magnetic property. Hence, ordinary iron piece will not be used. Only soft iron piece is used as a core material in case of electromagnet. Clear? Dear students, now let me tell you the definition of electromagnet. Very simple. When a soft iron piece is placed inside the solenoid carrying current, then it behaves as a magnet as long as the current flows through it. The magnet so obtained is called electromagnet, and this electromagnet was discovered by W. Sturgeon. W. Sturgeon. Clear? Yes. And this electromagnet, it is called temporary magnet. The reason is it behaves as a magnet only till the flow of current is present in the circuit. If no flow of current is there, or if the flow of current is stopped, then it does not behave like a magnet. And this electromagnet is used for many purposes. Now let me tell you one by one. Dear students, here I have written the definition of electromagnet. I told you that when a soft iron bar is placed inside the solenoid carrying current, then it behaves as a magnet as long as the current flows through it. The magnet so obtained is called electromagnet, and it was discovered by W. Sturgeon, and this is the diagram of electromagnet. And how to make it? It's a very simple procedure. You have to take a soft iron piece and take a long copper wire, start winding around it. Then whatever the free ends are available, they have to be connected to terminals of a battery along with a switch. Then after that, switch on. Then the current flows through the coil. Then the magnetic field is developed around the soft iron piece according to magnetic effect of electric current. Then it acts as a magnet. How long? As long as the current flows through the circuit, the soft iron piece acts as a magnet. When the flow of current stops, then it loses all of its magnetic property. That is why it is called temporary magnet. And this electromagnet can be used for many purposes. For example, in the dust particles, if small pieces of iron will enter into our eye, it is very difficult to remove that. So when you go for removing, there is a chance of happening that scratches. So that is why doctors will go for using electromagnetic machine for removing that small iron piece. They won't go for touching that machine to eye. Instead, when it is brought very close and this electromagnet has strong magnetic field, it will attract a small piece of iron. And another one, suppose the many materials are crushed. In that there is a heap of that crushing materials. In that, iron particles are there, iron items are there, iron pieces are there. So how to remove them? It is very difficult to remove, separate them just by hand. Hence, we will go for using the crane, which works on the principle of electromagnet. That is, when it is placed, then immediately it will attract the iron pieces. Then it can be separated easily. Clear? That only has been written. See that it is used by doctors to remove the particles of iron or steel from patient's eye. And in making magnetic levitation train, we all know that one of the important property of the magnet is like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. Then when one magnet is brought under the influence of the magnetic field of the another magnet, there will be a force. Due to that force, and it will just slip. It will slip. In the same way, here also, to make the magnetic levitation train, we will go for using electromagnet. And to make the cranes used for separating iron items from that heap, we will go for using it. And dear students, we are very familiar with permanent magnet as well as electromagnet, just which we studied now. In case of permanent magnet, usually we go for taking the natural magnet, and is also soft, and we will add some of the impurities to make it hard and to give the shape. Do you know what are the materials to be used to make the permanent magnet? Yes, you are right. It is alnico. See that how that word is there? Alnico. AlNico. That means aluminium, nickel, cobalt plus iron. These are the materials to be added to the natural magnet to give strength for that, so that we can cut into the shapes whatever we want. Okay, please do remember that. Now we will come to know the differences between natural magnet, nothing but permanent magnet, and artificial magnet. Here, just I'll go for giving you the points. You should go for writing yourself. Permanent magnet and temporary magnet. In case of permanent magnet, whether field strength is more or less, it is less on comparing with temporary magnet, because temporary magnet field strength depends on what amount of current flows. If the flow of current increases, field strength also increases. Then it is the strength of this permanent magnet, it is fixed, whereas temporary magnet, it is not fixed, it is varied. And permanent magnet has two poles and which cannot be changed. It has north and south. It cannot be changed as south and north. But whereas in case of temporary magnet, polarity, nothing but poles, north and poles can be interchanged. When you go for interchanging the terminals of a battery, then even the poles will also get changed. Clear? Yes, these are the differences. You try to write yourself. So now we are moving to answer for the questions that are given in NCERT text. Yes. Observe, here I have written the textbook questions in page number 228. First one is like this. A current through a horizontal power line flows in east to west. What is the direction of magnetic field? Nothing but magnetic field lines. At a point directly above it and at a point directly below it. Observe. Here we are very familiar with the directions. This is north, east, south, and here east, and this is west. Now look here. The current through a horizontal power line flows in east to west. East to west. Just for our information or to make the understanding in an easy way, I am taking like this. This is east, this is west. East to west direction. What is the direction of magnetic field at a point directly below it and at a point directly above it? That is, what is the direction of magnetic lines of force when viewed from east and when viewed from west? Look here. Here we can come to know that by applying Maxwell's right hand thumb rule. Look here. When you view from east, that means current is flowing from east to west. When you view from there, then you can come to know that what is that? Anti-clockwise. Direction of field of lines, it will be anti-clockwise. But when you view from, current is flowing from east to west only. But when you view from west side, then it will be in the clockwise direction. Observe it, because it will be in the downward. Clear? So now I go for writing the answer for that. Observe it. Here I have written the answer for the first question. See that? We know that the current is flowing from east to west. I have taken like this. East to west. When you apply right hand thumb rule, look here. When the current flows from east to west, that is, current is in upward direction, then it will be the direction of lines of force will be in the anti-clockwise, right? Anti-clockwise. But when you view from, see that here they are given what is the direction of the magnetic field at a point directly below it and at a point above it. Below it means we have to see the lines of force from east end, from here. And above the point means from here, that is from west end. Look here, here the lines of force are in the anti-clockwise direction, right? But when you view from here, look here, it looks like clockwise, right? But from here, if I observe, it looks like anti-clockwise. That only has been written. See, by applying right hand thumb rule, we get that the magnetic field turns clockwise in a plane perpendicular to the y when viewed from east. Here direction of lines of force is anti-clockwise only, but when you observe from the east end, it looks like clockwise. When you observe that from the west end, it looks like anti-clear? Now, some more questions are there. Observe. Draw the magnetic field around the bar magnet. Already we have learned that. It is also one of the important questions. You are very familiar with that. This is the bar magnet. You have to mark north and south, and the lines of force can be shown like this. So this is. But lines of force do not intersect each other. And the lines of force spread from north to south. You can show in this way. And should level it also. Okay. Already it has been drawn. Next, list the properties of magnetic lines of force. Even I told you, these properties are very important in the examination point of view as well. The first one, look here. The lines of force do not intersect each other. Second point. The lines of force exist more at the ends than at the middle. The reason is field strength is maximum at the ends than at the middle. Next, another one. The lines of force have much strength such that they can penetrate through the materials like paper, glass, wood, stone, bones and all. Right? So these are some of the important properties. You will have to write down them. Next, third question. So these are already listed. And actually conventionally we say that lines of force exist at North Pole and end at South Pole. Next, why don't two magnetic lines of force intersect each other? I have already told you the lines of force do not intersect each other. We have to write the reason for that. Okay, let me go for writing that. Observe. Here the lines of force do not intersect each other. Reason is, suppose the lines of force we all know that in the direction of lines of force, when you go for placing a magnetic compass, it shows the direction from north to south, right? But if it is taken the point, if the lines of force intersect each other at a point, at this point you place the magnetic compass, which direction it has to show? It has to show two direction. Is it possible? Not at all. Hence, they do not intersect each other. See that no two lines are found to cross each other. If they cross each other, it means that at the point of intersection, the compass needle would point towards two directions, which is impossible or which is not possible. Clear? Hope that you have understood. Yes, now we are moving to answer again some of the questions that are given in page number 229. Yes, I'll go for that. Dear students, observe this. First one is like this. Consider a circular loop of wire lying in the plane of the table. So this is the table and you are going to place a circular loop like this. Okay. Then let the current pass through the loop clockwise. For you all, see that clockwise. It is clockwise direction. Here also you have to assume the same clockwise direction. For you all I am showing clockwise direction, right? Apply the right hand rule to find out the direction of the magnetic field inside and outside the loop. Inside the loop. See that here we know that inside the circular conductor, lines of force will be straight and parallel, which is called uniform magnetic field. Here it is placed on the plane, hence lines of force will be like this. Here one, here one, here one, here one. How these are with respect to the plane? That is plane of the table. They are perpendicular. The same thing has been written. The magnetic field lines have been shown in the figure. Here it has been shown. As per the right hand thumb rule, we find inside the loop the field lines are directed perpendicular to the plane of the paper, inward direction. Here lines of force are going inside also. Clear? Whereas outside the loop, here the lines of force, here at this end, it will be circle, it will be circle, circle. That is concentric circles will be there. Is it not? Are they on the plane? No, they are out of the paper. Here the same thing has been written. Outside the loop, magnetic field lines are directed out of the plane of paper. Clear? Yes. Now observe it. Second question. The magnetic field in a given region is uniform. Draw a diagram to represent it. If the uniform magnetic field is there, then the lines of force will be straight and parallel. So I am going to draw the same. See that? These are the lines of force. They are straight and parallel, which is called uniform magnetic field. Third one. Choose the correct option. The question is like this. The magnetic field inside a long straight solenoid carry current. Magnetic field inside a long straight solenoid carrying current. Here I am drawing that. This is the solenoid. Here the magnetic field inside it. What happens? It is it zero? No. We know that field strength is same at all the points inside this solenoid. Clear? So it cannot be zero. Then decreases as we move towards its ends. No. Only at the ends it will be decreased. Why? They are distributed. Got it? Here also. They start moving away from each other, hence it decreases. See, not as we move towards, instead, only at the ends. Increases as we move towards its ends. No. Only at the ends it decreases. But is the same at all the points, no doubt. So these two will not come. And the right option is option D. Here I'll write answer. Option D is the same at all the points. Clear? Yes. Dear students, you are going to copy from there to here. And today we have got a lot of information regarding the chapter magnetic effects of electric current. Please do practice them today itself. Okay? And tomorrow also we have some interesting concepts are there. So we will learn them. So before concluding the class, again I am reminding you, please do practice the diagrams, what all we had drawn yesterday and what we have drawn today. Okay? With this, let us stop the class. Thank you very much.